Sono Flavio Carboni.
My name is Flavio Carboni. First of all, I would like to extend a very special greeting to those who are listening to my words. I'm here to talk about a real human prodigy, the scientist Viktor Petrik. A man, well, not just a man, but such an extraordinary genius that in my eyes, my mind and my heart, he is like a divinity, someone blessed by God, if I may put it that way. A man that had to fight without giving up against countless barriers and adversities from a very young age to get to such magnificently impressive results that have amazed everyone in the world and be considered almost like a miracle. Just think that if someone had not hindered him many years ago, probably many resounding results that have been obtained in recent times would have been achieved earlier, and at the same time would have had a remarkable impact on our way of living, and, God forgive us, many human lives could have been saved. Anyway, dear me, that was not the case. The evil was lurking, and its evil plan became real when in 1998, on the initiative of the Vatican, a meeting between Petrik and Cardinal Keys was promoted, after which a company between Petrik and a certain Mr. Dirk Duchateau was set up. The aim of this organization was to set up an important scientific research project. Everything seemed to be running smoothly, thanks also to the presence of a well-known Swiss financial manager, Mr. André Schneider, when the project's destiny was interrupted after the visit, so to speak, in Switzerland, of Mr. Sabelkin, a former USSR representative at the UN, and Mr. Safronov of the External Secret Intelligence, who, by taking Petrik away, frustrated all the progress that had been made until then, thus causing such enormous damage that it still cries out for vengeance today. And this is not all. As one can guess, as a result of what I have just said, there have been several more episodes that have considerably afflicted our scientist over time, and have especially obstructed his job in the most emotional circumstances, and, better said, especially when he was most focused on the hard work of the scientific research. However, I'm not here today just to praise scientist Petrik, although I believe that no praise will ever be enough to do him justice. I am here in the attempt to create a critical mass among people endowed with common sense and goodwill in order to understand how the evil could be tackled in favor of the common good, like Professor Petrik has done throughout his life. Among the countless episodes, one comes to mind, my dear ladies and gentlemen. It is such a weird and tricky fact that a deep and shrewd analysis is undoubtedly worthwhile. We need to go back to the years 2006 to 2007, when our Viktor was carrying out his scientific research in Milan, in a beautiful two-story building similar to the one he owns in Russia. In this building, he reached those impressive results that have drawn the appreciation and amazement of the whole scientific community. Still today, or rather more than ever before, the CNR, the most important Italian research authority, has declared to be at his disposal and wishes to continue along with him what has been considered the most worthy and most useful work on the earth. Plutarch stated, "Living is not important, sailing is." I often think about Plutarch, and I realize why the professor likes sailing so much. But let's get back to us. The episode I have just mentioned deals with such technology, namely that incredible result obtained through the processing of graphenes. And this is precisely the magnificent result which the most deplorable slander, coming from God knows who, decided to give the most incorrect interpretation by considering it thermonuclear fusion, best known as the Rossi effect. Absurd! This is absolutely insane. But still, all of this notwithstanding, we must recognize that every cloud has a silver lining, and good may arise out of the bad. We should be patient. Geduld, Geduld, immer Geduld, said Beethoven against hardship. That is, patience, patience, always patience. Which, I believe, was the same thoughts that Petrik had, which allowed him to withstand dislike and, at the same time, to dive into research wholeheartedly. Now I would like to focus on an extraordinary event that really changed my entire life. It is a prediction that I received many years ago by an exorcist of the Vatican, Father Germano Ventura, a dear friend of mine, who announced to me that one day I would have met a valorous Russian scientist with whom I would have established an unbreakable bond of friendship and an indissoluble working relationship to share emotions and happiness. He also told me that this scientist, between inventions and discoveries, would have changed the historical course of the whole of humanity. What else can I say? What better reward could a human being desire? I really feel like a privileged man of God. Who else could get to know the man, the genius, that with his ideas has revolutionized the world of science better than me? He is the man whom the whole of humanity cannot but give special appreciation and recognition for having given a lot without taking. Millions and millions of people will be saved and will change their way of living, thanks to his discoveries. This consideration should really stick in everyone's minds. This is not just about mere scientific research, according to the most consolidated community definitions, but real applied research with instant applications in the worldwide pre-competitive development. There are two pivotal issues concerning this memory: the management of water and soil-polluting agents and the purification of fresh water are of huge importance. We are talking about water, the first good in the world and source of life for every man and all living beings. It is our most valuable good, the most widespread resource in the world. But pollution, global warming and abuses are really threatening it. In fact, this extraordinary substance, as copious as it may be, cannot be created out of nothing, and therefore it is a limited resource. The amount available to men is just a tiny part. Apart from salt water equal to 97%, frozen water, which is equal to 2.5%, and the inaccessible groundwater at kilometers of depth, only 0.003% may be used, and with wide disparity. At present, 29% of humans, about 2.1 billion people I would say, mostly in Asia, have no safe drinkable water, thus causing the death of more than 1,500,000 people a year due to dysentery and typhus, according to what has been reported by the FAO. 90% are children. It's frightening, but here comes the providence. Therefore, and let's say this with joy, God has not turned his back on us. A man, beloved of God, I could not describe him otherwise, through amazing and miraculous discoveries, let's say that without any rhetoric, gives us the concrete possibility to save us from the most devastating danger hanging over us. We are clearly talking about incredible discoveries with historical significance, which have a strong impact on the well-being of mankind. I was wondering how many of us think about those who work in an environment full of sacrifice, misunderstanding, and barriers to the change of our lives. Yes, because it is on the worst part of human beings that the power of those who aim at dominating the masses, also through several different media tools, is based. In one word, technology. It can save your life, but it can also kill you. It can give you peace, but also war. The picture of the present is alarming. The matter, according to the last UN report on water resources, is further complicated by the new polluters that the purifiers are not able to drain. Cosmetic products, drugs, and many other noxious substances that affect us non-stop. But then what chance do we have to get through this horrible tunnel full of poison that is leading the world towards complete disaster? The answer is Viktor Petrik, thank God. He is an estimated member of the Russian Academy of Natural Sciences, the Russian Academy of Technologies, the Russian Academy of Art and Science, Ecology and Safety of Human Beings and Nature. He is the author of 4 scientific discoveries and head of different research centers. In 1991, he founded the first Russian private laboratory for scientific research. A well-known figure worldwide, he has met presidents of states, regions, senior prelates of the Vatican State, and many other personalities all over the world. But let me now link to the core of his genius. Let me be clear, we are talking about a genius that already belongs to the history of the most famous inventors. The man that has substantially changed our existence, our current ability to defend ourselves against disease, to generate wealth, to take care of our children and feed the populations of the world. One of his most important discoveries is cutting the levels of arsenic in water. One of the biggest known issues about pollution of water is arsenic. The CNR has recently confirmed that it is an unprecedented, stunning invention for scientific research. In terms of the accuracy of the analysis, of the many years of study, and, more importantly, the importance of the result. Let's say that Petrik has been able to reduce arsenic by 100%. It's simply miraculous. This is history. And this just further highlights the transcendent significance of the discovery. And I'm not exaggerating. The man on the moon, to give just one example, is a very important result. But people here are dying because of pollutants. The discovery I am talking about, and more specifically the material called HRCM, aims at saving millions of human lives. All the food we eat has water in it. We drink water, but it is used to cultivate fruit, plants and vegetables and breed livestock. Also, the human body mainly consists of water. Everybody knows that water is the most important source of life. We would die without water, but with polluted water, we can fall ill and die anyway. All these things considered, now I would like to dedicate myself to a very important thing. I would like to welcome my dear friend Viktor Petrik and his family in the best possible way. Every year, in fact, I have the pleasure of hosting him in the most beautiful and exclusive places in Italy, where the most important politicians, scientists, financial managers and industrialists of the world have stayed. This is the best chance I have, and I will use it as much as I can to stay close to him and enjoy the wonderful words of his wisdom.